The toy is an Eames design whose function is obvious after hearing its simple name. However, its origins took inspiration from a more complicated idea of structure, from Buckminster Fuller's mathematical theories. Released to children across the country in 1951, the toy was neatly packaged in a hexagonal tube. Its contents were simple: triangular panels of thick paper, wooden dowels, and colored wired attachments. When speaking about the toy's early design stages, Charles and Ray made it known that many of the Eames office's projects were designed for or inspired by a particular friend, then often translated into a product for the masses. Of the toy, Charles once said, quote, "I suppose we were thinking of Bucky Fuller," end quote. Buckminster, or Bucky Fuller, as a person is nearly impossible to define neatly. He was a mathematician, an inventor, an architect, a lecturer, an engineer, a poet. He was just as much a learner as he was an educator. He was tirelessly seeking answers to questions that most people don't know to ask. And the act of being near Fuller gave others the sense that their world was expanding too. In the late 1940s and early 1950s, Fuller coined terms like tensegrity sphere, tensional integrity, vector equilibrium, platonic solids, and Dymaxion. He was building a new language of words and diagrams to illustrate novel concepts of physics, to explain structures of molecules, and to further understand the engineering of buildings. His biographer Hugh Kenner wrote of the tensegrity sphere, quote, "Everything seems to be hanging from everything else. Common sense says it ought to collapse in a jumble, but it doesn't. This is all so much fun that we forget to ask what it may mean," end quote. For Fuller and his audience of theorists, students, architects, this collection of wires and sticks modeled energy's even distribution through space. The sphere represented the tetrahedron-structured molecule of all living tissue. One of Fuller's students at Black Mountain College formed the tensegrity mass from his ideas. A few years later, it was displayed at the Buckminster Fuller exhibition at the Museum of Modern Art. Does it look familiar? The nearly miraculous physics of structure and an efficient use of materials were also priorities of Charles and Ray Eames's projects. There was a simultaneous enjoyment and serious rigor to all of the Eames office's designs, and the toy was no exception. Its dowels and flat surfaces served as metaphors for the building blocks of matter. They can be formed into a series of configurations: a theater, a boat, a tiny house. It embodies a sense of connectedness and geometry, just as Bucky was expressing. In 2017, the Eames office re-released the toy with brightly colored triangular panels that shout nostalgic feelings straight from the 1950s. While sliding the wooden dowels through the triangular sleeves, we hope that you'll be thinking of Buckminster Fuller. After all, Charles and Ray were. To watch more videos like this and to see more photos from our historic Eames Office archives, visit our website at eames.link/Eames Archives. Thanks for watching.